So before going to that programming part, two ways we can create thread. Very simple. One is that by extending thread. Another one is by extending by using this runnable interface. You know what is interface. Okay. So I no need to tell again. So this is only the advantage if you have understood that interface. So that interface, I hope so that it's clear. Yeah. So here one is by using this runnable interface, another is by using thread class. Now how threads, creating threads in two ways we can create thread. One is by using thread class, another is using by using runnable interface. So this thread class is there where in java.lang. This runnable interface is also there in java.lang. This is extending, this is implementing. So which one having more advantage? This one or this one? By seeing this line, extending and implementing, which one will give you the true inheritance? This one or this one?
Second one, sir.
Second one. So obviously questions may ask in interview that which one is much more much more advantageous. So obviously I can get the true inheritance, that advantage of inheritance by using this second one, because in this one I can extend only one class. For example, I'll write down, for example, my thread, my thread, my thread. So here we'll write down class. This is nothing but class. I am creating one new thread. So my class, my thread, extend what? It's extend which one? By extending thread class. Extend thread. Thread. Extend thread. So this is that one way. Okay. Another way by using runnable. Now here you see that what is the design? I can extend only thread class, but I cannot extend, for example, A1 is another class, A1 comma thread. So like that I can do. I can extend only one class. But if I'll go for runnable interface, multiple numbers of class, it can be extended. I can write down that class my thread implements runnable, or some other, you know that many numbers of interface it can be implemented, not only one. So it will take that true advantage of inheritance. So for that reason we can use it. So there may be some also that execution time will be less. Okay, so these are the, but that if they may ask, so like this you can say that which, as there are two ways is that during exam questions will come, what is thread, in how many ways we can create thread. Very simple, two ways. One is that by extending thread class, another one is that by using runnable interface. So now if you'll go to that program, so I'll write down that one new class, new class, for example, my thread 1. So my thread 1 I am defining public static void main. So this one I am making that main class. So I have defined this particular class. This is that thread. Now in this one I want to create one thread by using first approach. So during write that during exam questions will come, what is thread, in how many ways we can create threads. In two ways we can create. One is by extending thread class, another one is by using by implementing runnable interface, by implementing runnable interface. Now here you see that now I have to create one thread. So this is my own thread I am going to create. So we'll write down class, name of the thread, for example my thread. Okay, my own thread I will write down. So then So my own thread, you can write down what it will do. It will extend which one? It will extend. I will write down extends. Extends. What I will write down? Class my own thread extend thread. So this is that class which is going to be extend, and this thread class is there where java.lang. So this one is there in java.lang. So it's there in java.lang. So in this particular package it is there java.lang.start. So in this particular package is there. Here we are not writing by default, only all those things it's going to import. So no need to write it. Java.lang class. Now whole this particular class, it's creating thread. It's for creating thread. So this class is creating thread, and this one is nothing but this is that main method. Main method class. So this is that main method class, this is that creating thread. Okay. Now inside this particular, we have created this particular thread. Now we'll show you. See, now this is that class. This class is thread. Thread implements runnable. Thread implements runnable. In this one, what are the different things is there? You can see that this thing is we no need. So we have run run. Where it is. So this is thread class. This implements runnable interface. So what does it mean? I have created. So I have created one. This one is my Control Z. This one is that my own thread. This one is extending threads. It's implementing runnable interface. So what I can write down. So this one is that my thread, which one I have created. My own thread. My own PHRE. This is my own thread. So this one is that my own thread. I have created this particular class, and this one is what you call. This one will be what? Tell me. This one is what? This one is thread class. This one is my thread class. My own extend thread. This thread, it can implement runnable. So this is nothing but runnable interface. So implements runnable. So this is nothing but runnable, and we'll call this one as an interface. This is nothing but this name will be, this is interface, and this one is, I'll call this one is an class, which is there. This class is there where? In java.lang. This interface is there also in java.lang. And this is my own class. This is my own thread. So my own thread, and this is class. This is also I have defined as class. I will not write, otherwise you will confuse. So you can say that my own thread, two ways we can do it. One is by extending this what? Thread class. So this one is by extending this thread class. Another one is that my own thread, it can be done by using implement runnable. Another one is by using implement runnable interface. Implement runnable interface. But this thread also, this class also, it can go to this one. That's thread class implements interface. My own thread implements runnable interface. This diagram is clear. This is one way creating thread. This is second way of creating thread. Is that clear? This much is clear or not?
Clear, sir.
Okay, so now if we'll come to this program, yeah, so now if we'll come to this program, so fine. So this much is fine. So this is first approach, let us see. So this is my class extending thread. Now what I have to do, that I have to create the thread. How I can create the thread? Same way how I am going to create that object. So how we'll do it? By using my own thread. So that's why I told that previous thing is important. If you understood what we did last few days, so it will be too easy. So my own thread of this one, I'll create object. So that object name is I am giving OB1. I'll write for understanding purpose right now. T1 is thread 1 by new keyword, and I'll write down my own thread. I'll write down my own thread. Created this particular object. Fine. So I have created one thread. I have created one thread. Fine. So now in this point, in line number 16, how many thread I have? I have only one thread. So that one is known as main thread. Till line number 16, I have one thread, only one thread. I have only one thread. Fine. So till this line I have only one thread. So how you can start a particular thread? You can start a particular thread by using what? By using start method. So I can write down T1 dot start. I can write down T1 dot start. The start is there where? The start method is there in this particular thread class. The start is there in this particular thread class. So I can start this particular thread. Now in this line, child thread and main thread have two thread. Now line number 17, I have created one thread. Now I have two thread. One is main thread, another thread, which one I created? That one is the T1 by extending this class. Now in this line, I have the two numbers of thread. I have two numbers of thread. Now whatever the things will be there in this particular thread, it's going to be executed by whom? By executing by this particular child thread. Now here I will write down one simple line. For example, system dot out dot println. System dot out dot println. System dot out dot println main thread. This is main thread. Now another line here, I will not write right now. So now this line, it is going to be executed by whom? This line is going to be executed by main thread. And whatever the functions, whatever the I told, that's why job, whatever that control flow I will write down, it will execute by this one. Now how it's going to execute? To execute anything in this class, so once a particular thread is going to start, whatever task we have to do, that one we have to keep it into run method. That is void run. It's going to overriding. So here you can see that I have to make it is public because this run method is there where? So this run method is there. So this run method is there in this thread. In this particular thread class, we have this run method, we have this particular start method. Now we are overriding this. So overriding concept means what? Signature will be same. I have that same signature. There also it is public. If I will not write down this public, it will show you that you can't reduce that visibility. So that visibility, it can't be reduced. That means their public is there. Now you can go down. So it should be public only. So public void run. So this run method already it's there. So this is nothing but override. This is overriding. So this is overriding. This particular overriding run function, it's there in chread thread class. This to start. So this line I will write another line below. To start a thread, it will call start method of thread class. So it's going to call that start method of thread class. This is that run method. Now something if I have to execute, I have to keep that part into this particular thread. For example, I want to execute one simple printf statement, and I will write down this one is the child thread. I have written this one as an child thread. So right now it's starting. So you can see that this is my main class. Fine. This is my main method. It's fine. Now I am going to create one thread. How I'll create that thread? By same as well as usual how we are creating object. My own thread T1 equal to new constructor, my own thread. I have created this thread. But here after creation I didn't start. So that's why I have only one thread only. That is main thread. Once I will write down T1 dot start, what does it mean? Now through two thread is running. Now two thread is running. Another thread is T1 and I have started it. So that means it will go to this particular things. Here it will come and will check is there any run method is there or not. Yes, in line number 7, I have some run method. In this one, whatever the task will be there, so that one will be that job performed by whom? The job is performed by thread, created thread. Job performed by created thread, or I can say that child thread, CHL child thread. So this is main thread means this one will be child thread. So the job performed by this created thread. This much is clear. So here this line is going to be executed by whom? This line will executed by whom? It's going to be executed by main thread. This line is going to be executed by whom? It's going to be executed by child thread. It's going to be executed by child thread. So now let us see that execute. See main thread and child thread. So now if you'll kind of see first time main thread has come, main thread. I want to show you that child thread will come first. So that one, just want to show that it's depend on that JVM. Which one will be scheduling first? Whether child thread will scheduling first or main thread will scheduling first. So it's depend on that JVM. Which one has to be executed first? So leave here. It's not coming. What I will do? Let me write one simple for loop. Let me write here one simple for loop. For I it will go from a int I equal to 0. int I equal to 0, I less than, for example, I'll write 10 times, and I plus plus. So what does it mean? This for loop means it's going to execute it's going to execute this particular line 10 times. So now let me check. And same thing here also I will keep one for loop. I'll write down one for loop here also, and we'll define it here like this. So now let me run and see. So we'll show this one. You have seen the difference. See here you can see the difference. I just was trying for this. See, main thread has been executed. After that has come that child thread. After that main thread. After that child thread. So you will not get that same output each and every time. Whenever you will execute, you will not get that same output. So right now this 10 lines, this main thread, it's going to be executed by main thread. So this 10 lines is going to be executed by main thread. But this one is going to be executed by child thread. This one is also going to be executed by whom? This one is also going to be executed by child thread. Now look into this program and see what you understood or not from this one. And take the notes if you want. Yeah. So what you understood or not, you check. So understood this program. This is that one approach by extending thread class, how you are going to create thread. Is that clear? So once you are creating thread, this is only creating, it's not started. So at that time, if you'll write down T1 dot, so here you can see how. You can see this one how. There is a function T1 dot is, yes, so is alive. So it will give you that Boolean value. T1 dot is alive. So this thread one is alive or not. So this thread one, I'll print it. It's not coming. System will copy paste. See, it is false, whether it's alive or not. So this function, this T1 is not alive. when it will be alive, when I have started it. So at that time, you'll see that this one is going to be alive. Once this thread has been started, so at that time you can see that false. After that, once started, that means thread has started. So take it and note during exam, these questions will come. So this is that simplest way how you can create a thread. So this is one way. How many ways you can create thread? One is that by extending thread class. Another one is that by using runnable interface. Understood this code? Remember, up to this much point of time, we have that one thread. That is main thread. When I will write down this string, at that time second thread it started. And second thread it started, and if it has to perform any work, that one we have to keep it into run method, which has been overriding from this thread class. Is thread class having this run method as well as this particular start method? We are going to override that particular method here. So in this one, if I'll write, if you'll write down something else, so at that time it's not going to work out. Is that clear? It's not. See, right now, if I'll write down instead of this start, if I'll write down run, R-U-N, will it create thread? It will create second thread. No, it will not create second thread. Always will get that output. So always will get that, see, it's not created. Always will get that output like this, child thread and main thread. Never, so you will not get that particular mix-up output. So always you run 1,000 times, so it will get that same output. That means first child thread and after that main thread. But once you are going to thread, create that thread, the output will be mixed. First maybe child thread executing main thread, because two thread parallelly it's executing in a same processor. Two thread is executing parallelly in a same processor. Understood this much code? So that we can move to that next. Hello, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now here you see that we don't know that what is the name of this particular thread. And now I will go to that implementation. So this is one way. Now implements, MENTS implements, what will implement? Runnable. Will implement runnable. So if you'll go to that, you can see that it's an interface. Runnable, it's nothing but it's an interface in which we have what? In this also we have that run method. Okay. So this is that run method, void, abstract, void. So you can see that it's an interface. So that's why it is abstract, it is public, and no implementation is there. So this is run method. Okay. So now same thing, that implements, if something has to be executed, we have to keep it into this particular part, that public void run. Now we'll create this one. So now in this one, I'll create separate file only so that I can send you this document. What I did. What was the error? Extend. Now new class. I'll write this is that runnable, my own runnable threads, my own runnable threads. Let it be like that. So this is my own runnable thread. I will copy that same structure. So I have written it like this. So my own runnable thread, and I will use this implements runnable interface and void run. So any thread, if it has to be execute that code or the job has to be performed by created child thread, it has to be keep it into thread has to keep in run method. See this run method we are keeping. So has to keep in run method. So this is that run method, it's overriding. Already this function is there. So this is, you can know that what is the advantage of that overriding. Who wants to run, how they will implement on that way. I have written it for loop. Somebody else, they will write something else. So for that reasons it's overriding. So job performed by created thread has to keep in run. So we are keeping in this one. Now here you can say that I will write it as my thread. So now we'll create this object. Now this one. Now will it create the thread? Will it create the thread? It will create. How to create the thread? How to create the thread? So thread can be created by previous class only have seen. Let me go to that. So this thread have been created how? By using my own thread T1. Here I can write down T1 because this is that same. So this thread 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 T1 equal to sorry T2 equal to new thread. T2 equal to new thread. So this is that thread. I didn't wrote it like this. Why? Because it's already extending. So extending means already it will be there. So that's why in this one I can write it like this. If you'll write T2 also, then also no problem. You can write down start T2. If you'll write down, it's going to start that particular thread. It's going to start that thread. I can write it, but in this case, but right now in this case, runnable interface. So this runnable interface, we don't have the thread. Okay, it's an interface. It's not extending the thread class. So for that reasons, what you have to do, how to create the thread, you can create that thread. Name of the thread is, for example, T1 equal to new, next is thread, new thread. Now, will it start this particular thread? It's not going to start that particular thread. This T1 already defined, this T2. So will it, what I want to say that will it start this particular thread? What is this class, my thread? This name should be here. Because saving this name like this, so my runnable thread, I can't make it public because only one should be there, my runnable thread. So we'll create that constructor for this my runnable thread. So I've changed the name. Yeah. So now you can see that T2 dot. So will it create this particular thread? It's not going to create this thread because I have to pass this T1. So once I will pass this T1, that means it's going to start that second thread. So now I can start this particular thread T2 dot start. T2 dot start. So I can start this particular thread right now. So this one is going to create this particular entry point for the second thread. This up to this one, this line is going to be, this one main thread is there. Up to here main thread is there. Whenever I am starting the T2 dot start, another thread is going to create. So that one is that child thread. So in this line number 21, I have the two numbers of thread. So one thread will execute which one? One thread will execute this method, and my main method is going to execute this part, whatever coding part will be there. So apart from this also, if something else is there, so all those things is going to be executed by main thread. But whatever the information you will write down inside this main method, so that's in this run method, it's going to be executed by whom? It's going to be executed by child thread. Now in runnable interface, you can see that how we are going to create that thread. First of all, we are creating that object of this particular class, whatever thread class my runnable thread implements runnable. So of this class, I am creating this T1 new my runnable. So right now this T1, it's this that object. So now to create the thread, so this line is going to be used to create a thread. So this line is going to be used to create a thread. But in our previous program, which line is going to create a thread? Main thread have only one thread. So this method, it's going to be, this method, it's going to be used to create a thread. This is also same thing. This is also nothing but this is also going to use to create a thread. This is also used to create a thread. This is 2 times I have written. I no need to write this one. So this is also using to create a thread. Why I am not writing it? Because it's extending this particular thread class. So I no need to write it like this. I can write it like this. So then only another thread is going to create. But practically thread is creating by this thread class. So to create a thread, we need this particular thread class. So for that reasons only here, because it is implements, it's an interface, it's not a thread extending any thread class. So I have to create the thread. How can I create this thread? By using this thread T2 equal to new thread T1. By using this one, I can create this particular thread. I have created this thread, but will it get this method it's going to run? It's not going to run because I have to send this T1 as an argument inside this particular thread. Once I will send it, then only it's going to execute. Then only it's going to execute. And when it's going to execute, if I'll write down T2 dot start. Now this start method, it's there in this runnable interface. It's not there in this runnable interface. Its start method is there in thread. Start method is there in thread class. It's not there in runnable interface. To start it, I have to write down T2 dot start. So at this point, another thread will start. That one is child thread. That one will be child thread. Next line, this is inside this main method. So that's why it will be executed by main thread. This one is executing by whatever will be inside this run method will be executed by child thread. Will be executed by child thread. So this is implements runnable. So these are the two methods how you can implement threads in Java. So these two basic thing, is that clear? So I will write to understand purpose runnable main thread is runnable child thread. Yeah, so now you can see that, yeah, so you can say that main method, child method, main, or it may be child. It's depend on that JVM, which one JVM is scheduling, whether main thread is scheduling first or child thread is going to be scheduled first. It's depend on that JVM. JVM will schedule, it will schedule randomly whatever he has to, the JVM has to schedule. So it's depend on that in which order it has to be executed. But it's proven that our thread is executing because we are not getting first only main, after that only child thread. All the output is coming in mixing way. So it may be changed in several run. So always it will not be same. So it will be change. So now you can see that first main and after that child. So it will be changing. Okay, but if I'll, so previous to, if I'll write run, it's not going to create that second thread. Okay, it's simply calling this run method. To start the thread, I should write down t2 dot start. This is the start point of a thread. And the job which one has to be performed, I have to keep inside this run method. I have to keep inside this run method. In both the approaches, what is different? One is extending, another one is implementing. Now implementing, I have created this object, but I didn't create the thread. So I have to create the thread by using thread class only. So that's why I have to write down thread t2 equal to new thread. What I have to execute? This thread has to execute. I have to send this t1 inside this one. Then only thread is going to start. But in previous approach, what is that error? So in previous approach, my own thread p1 equal to new my thread. By using this only created. Why? Because it has been extended from thread class. I no need to write explicitly like this. Thread t2 equal to new thread. I no need to write it. I no need to write this sentence. If you'll write, then also fine. You have seen that it will create that thread. By t2 also I can do it. By if I'll do it like that, by t2 also I can do it. But I no need to write. I can write down this one or this one. Anyone, it's fine. Anyone, it's fine. I can write it. Got this much? Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear that runnable interface, how we are creating thread, and by extending thread class, how we are going to create the thread? Let me know whether is it clear or not.
Yes, sir.
Anyone, any doubt? Anyone having any doubt? Okay, fine. So now how to see that name of a particular thread? So we can check that what is that name of a thread. So let me, so I hope so that this much is clear, that runnable interface, by using runnable interface and by using what you call that thread class, how you can create a thread, how to check the name of a particular thread. For example, thread thr is the thread dot current thread dot get name. So this is that get name semicolon. So if you'll write this one to print, I will write it in system dot out dot print ln thread dot current thread. So thread dot current thread dot get name is the function to get the name of a thread. So if you'll run it, you can see the name of the thread is what? main. Got it? What is the name of this thread? Current thread it's running main. Okay, so current thread is going to run, that name of that particular current thread is main. Now here you can see extending thread. I can define constructor or not. In this one I can define constructor. Is it possible to define or not? Can I write constructor? I can write constructor. Now my own, I can write down constructor, my own thread. I can write that constructor. So there is, so I can write this constructor. So my own thread. I want to define some name for this particular thread. This is child thread. Okay. So I, for example, string, I can give that string name of this particular things, whatever name want to give it, you can give it. So as just now we have seen that string and we want to give some name. So after that, what you can do, that you can write down, you can initialize this name. How you will initialize instance variable? By using that this dot name. I can write down this dot name equal to name. Fine, this one is initialized. So I got the name. So right now same thing I can keep it here also. So system.out.println, system.out.println plus, if I'll write down name, if I'll pass down that name, so I can get this particular name also. So I can get that name also. So in this one, is that fine? So this one I can define some name to this one by using this constructor. So you can see that it is parameterized constructor. So now I can give that thread 1. Thread 1 SVIT. So if you'll give that some name, so it's going to execute by that thread. It's going to be executed by thread. You can see that child thread 1 SVIT. So I can provide that some name also. If you will not provide that particular name also, will it so if I'll not provide any name, so what it's displaying, see that here. So I have defined thread 1 name has been defined. So I will not write this part of the code. I will not define this part of the code. So you can see that right now it will give you that name of this particular thread. So how many thread? There are one thread, that is that 0. So here you can see that I have written child thread. So the thread name is what? I will not, this is to understand where it's executing. Child thread. Name of this thread is what? 0. So it's starting from 0. Thread 0. How you are numbering? How many thread created? 1. So that is that 0, 0, 0. So these are the thread. And the second part you can see that 5. It's nothing but priority. So by default priority, that is normal priority, is 5. By default priority of this particular thread 0 is 5. Priority, we know that already, you studied that process scheduling and all those things. So thread 0 having priority. In thread we have that priority 1 to 10, not from 0. 1 to 10. This is thread 0 created. Priority of the thread is 5. And under which group? Who is that? Under this particular main thread. Under whom it has created? Under main thread it has been created. So this way you can see that name of that particular thread also. So this is that how you are writing. This is how you are writing that particular thread, which thread has been created, and you can define that name by default. So some name you want to define. So this whatever that name you want to define, so you can define that particular name also. Instead of this child thread, I want to define some name. So for that reasons, you can write it like this, name plus this. So whatever name we'll write down, so it's going to print that particular name for this thread. So I have defined this thread 1 SVIT. So you can see that thread 1 SVIT thread. So this is you are defining what are the values will be there in this particular thread. So this way we can define thread name for this one. This is that get name. Now you can set the name of also that for that particular main thread. So right now let me define int I equal to 5 comma j equal to 0. Int j equal to I divided by j. This is again we are defining it here. That's it. So you can see that exception in main java.lang. So name of this particular thread is main. Okay, I can set that particular name also. Java current thread dot current thread dot set name. For example, SVIT. If I'll set the name, is it printing? Exception means java.lang unresolved. So this set name thread. I will create this thread, then only it's possible. Control X. Now thread created. T1 dot. T1 dot set name. Now this one is, yeah. So now here you can see that we can control X. So here you can see that exception in thread SVIT. So it's not giving that main. So I have defined that one as an SVIT. So that's why it's showing that exception in that name SVIT. Whatever that name I have defined. So for that, this way we can set that particular name of that thread. Otherwise, what it's showing that you can see that exception in thread. What is that name? That name of that thread is 0. Why it is 0? Because by default here I have defined this particular name. So this is pointing to this particular object. So this particular object created by default, that name is thread 0. By default that name is that thread 0. So that's why it's defining 0. So this is that how you can set the name of that particular thread, that how you will define that name of that particular thread. So this way you can define the name of a thread. Is that clear? I think I will stop, otherwise the people will bore. So is that clear this much? These two technique, is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
So I will not go further. Okay, so just make sure that these two, I will share this code in chat box. You can take it and you can try. So you can take, and I think I will share it with, this is one code. Next, this is another one. Desktop thread. So I will share this code in WhatsApp group and you can check this. Okay, so is that clear? Any question is there? I will not go to that next topic today. So let me complete with this much only, that what do you mean by thread? So question is, what do you mean by thread? And how many ways we can define thread? Two ways. You can write one simple program. So as discussed, all those things is also not required. You will write down. You can write who don't want to go for any complex things and all those things. So they can write in simple way. So that println, and this is something I will print. So that is, for example, child thread. You can create this thing very easily. I hope so that this much you understood. This is that overriding method. You're overriding that method, and inside this main method, you are creating thread. How you are going to create that thread? By using this constructor T1. Why I can write it? I no need to write like this because it's extending thread, so no need to write this one. You can write this one also, no problem. Created thread. And how to start it? This is not required. T1 dot started. This is not required. This one just to show you that second part it started. That means this part will be run by main and this part will be run by child thread. The thread which one we have created here. That means T1 job will be this one and main thread job will be this one. This is how you created thread by extending, and by implementing how simple, same, everything is same, only these two lines will be different. First line is same. I have to create the object of this class. After that, to create the thread, I should use, always remember, you can create thread by using thread class only. You can't create the thread without thread class only. Previously, we didn't wrote because it's extended. That's why we didn't wrote. If you will write, that is also correct. Another line also, I wrote it that thread T2 equal to new thread. This is also correct. I no need to write this one. This one will be useful in some other way. We can use it. So both you can think of for initial purpose. So now this is another thread we created, and how to start this runnable interface of this, what object I created, that one I'll put into this one. Then only I can start this one. So the start method is there in thread, but right now which run method is going to execute? The run method of runnable interface. I have shown you that inside that runnable we have that run in this one abstract method. So abstract method, why you are saying this is see that abstract method, public start, no implementation. We have implemented it in our class. We have implemented in our class. Here we have implemented an implementation given one simple for loop. So this is the task which is going to be done by whom? It's going to be done by T2. So T2 will work on this for loop and main thread will work on this for loop. This is by implementing runnable interface.